Hi, my name is Brett Quick, and I'm doing an analysis of the play Ruined by Lynn Nottage. So the first quote that I really wanted to present to you guys is in the play. One of the girls, Salima, she says, "You will not fight your battles on my body anymore," and I just found this to be like the most meaningful statement in the whole play. Lynn Nottage Ruined. It conveys the ruined women of the war-ravaged nation, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And the women are ruined because the soldiers have raped and brutalized these women so bad that they no longer can have sex or even, have children because the men just destroyed their women's genitals in their womb. And many of these women are sent to Mamanadi's brothel, which is a whorehouse there, and even though it is a whorehouse, they find it better there than facing rape and brutality in the villages. And then, in order to convey the true accounts of the Congessian women, Lynn Nodges uses several symbols throughout the play to reveal the atrocities. Therefore, my research question is, how does Lynn Noddige use symbols to reveal the conflicts of the play? So, a couple of symbols I'm going to go over are one of the guys' his choice to drink fanta instead of alcohol, and then a bird in the play, which is like a parrot in this play, the symbol of sex, and then the use of song and poetry through this play. So first, one of the characters, Christian, he is a businessman. He's been friends with Mama Nadi for a long, long time. And whenever he goes to the brothel, he always orders a fanta instead of alcohol. And this kind of shows, that he in choosing Fanta instead of alcohol, it shows, that he is happy with life. Because many men will go into the bar, and like she goes on to say in the book, and they drink to forget the daily, like the heavy judgments of the day. And so he's willing, he's only drinking Fanta, which just shows, that he's not witnessing any brutality or partaking in any of it. And he also calls her Cherie, and he's just a very happy man. And then in the middle of the play, it shows like the escalation of the war and the brutality and the torture, because the government leader forces him to drink, and he's been sober for 5 years now. So taking that drink is really hard for him, but he didn't want to cause any tension in Mama Nadi's brothel, so he took that drink, and then he just becomes a drunk during the rest of the play, during the heat of the war. And as Lynn Nottage quotes, he loses himself in the bottle. And it just represents the out of control war that's going on, that there's no trust. Yet in the end there is hope, because months later he comes back to the brothel with gifts of chocolate from Mama Nadi, and everything is good again. Like the war tornadoes is kind of dissipated or gone away from the brothel. And so his character, really, it symbolizes hope. Like in the end, he admits to her that he loves her, and then she admits to him that she loves him too. So it's like a little love story amidst all this brutality. So really, his character just represents hope, and it also shows the brutality of the war. And then the next symbol was the bird. The bird in the beginning of the play, it never speaks or squawks or does anything, and it's a parrot, so it repeats what people say. And so in the beginning, when Mama Nadi's talking about the bird to Christian, she's saying how the bird, supposedly, when it talks, it'll mention like the histories in the past, or like that's what it symbolizes. Quoting it, she says, "He believed as long as the words of the forest people were spoken, the spirits would stay alive." So the bird basically symbolizes that the spirits would stay alive. Yet these forest people, the forest throughout the play, it changes too, and the forest used to be, nature, and it used to represent traditions and the people of the Congo. Yet now it's just a battlefield, and there's bloody, bloody brutality there. Yet, the bird also, at the end of the play, though, it finally, when Mama Nadi and Christian start, admit that they love each other, the bird squawks, Mama Primus, Mama Primus. And so it really just symbolizes and conveys the fact that the people have once again regained the land, the people who should belong in the Congo have regained their land, and that hope is found, and that the stories will be retold. And then the next symbol I want to discuss is sex. So, the men through this play, they often will they would come to this brothel in hopes, of kind of finding their way home through sex and through alcohol, through the bottle, and to forget their daily judgments. Yet the one of the girls, Sophie, she is this beautiful, beautiful girl, and all the men come in there, and then they see her, and they want to have sex with her because they believe that it'll be really, truly a way for them to reach home or seek ultimate happiness. Yet, ironically, although she is very, very pretty, she's actually ruined or damaged goods. And so this symbolizes and represents that these men, they think that having sex is going to bring them home, but in reality home is not the same as it used to be. All the villages have been destroyed, and the people have all had all these horrific experiences now that they're no longer going to be able to go home the way they thought they could. And then the next symbol is the song and poetry. So in the song and poetry, Lynn Nottage uses it throughout the play, really to indicate the sadness and the pain. So Sophie, she's a beautiful girl with a beautiful, beautiful voice, and she sings, "And your body's free to unwind and dance like it's the ending of the war." Well, in this case, dance means sex, and she's saying that the men, they should have sex like it's the ending of the war, but in reality, she's saying that she's infusing them, or she's trying to get the men to, spend their money so that they can make money, as sad as it is. She's saying how the men's, or the alcohol just lets their words looser and just makes them really behave awfully, and she just indicates all the pain of her past through these songs. And then another song that she talks about is the rare bird. And the rare bird song is in the beginning of the play as well as the end, and it's one of the quotes is, "A cry that tells a story harmonious but time forgotten." And this is just, and then goes on to say, "To be seen is to be doomed." And so this really speaks about the woman and the people of the land, the women, if they're seen, then they're doomed because they're raped and brutalized and tortured. Yet, she goes on to say, "And yet the bird still cries out to be heard." So it's, even though all this horror is happening, they still want people to find out about it. So it's kind of how, Lynn Nottage, she went into the Congo and found these stories and heard these stories of these women. And then the next thing that I wanted to go is to relate these stories to other books we've read. So another one we read is Stop Kiss. And the song, like I said, Rare Bird, is in the beginning and the ending of the play, just as in Stop Kiss, there's music in the beginning of the play that indicated, that Callie would finally tell everybody that, she had feelings for Sarah. And so, in the song in the beginning of the play is the music. It really portrays the happiness kind of, and the hope really of the play. And then in Intimate Apparel, both the relationship with Intimate Apparel is both the main characters, the protagonists, Mama Nadi and Esther. They made something out of nothing. They both had nothing, and yet Mama Nadi made, she started out with a little bit and started to make this brothel, which really was her home, and she made these girls their home. It made even though the girls were prostitutes, it still was their home, and it was a safe place to be, and it provided security for them. And same with Esther in Intimate Apparel. She had nothing. But she became a seamstress and started to make her way up. And both these women had saved money all their lives, but had it taken away. So I thought that was interesting. And then the other play that I really thought was interesting too is in Satellites. The setting of that play in Satellites is the brownstone. Well, in Ruined, the setting is Mama Nadi's brothel, or her whorehouse. And so I thought it was interesting, how in Brownstone, they say about there's just a lot of chaos with all the characters and everything being there. Well, same in Mama Nadi's brothel, there's just, a lot of men and a lot of conflicts going on. But yet the Brownstone and yet Mama Nadi's brothel are both places of security for these people. And it becomes their home. Just like in Satellites, at the end of the play, the brownstone really was their home and they made it theirs. So Ruin is equipped with numerous people and things to symbolize the violence, the brutality, and the horror of the war-torn country. Yet this play is not just an act of defiance waged over the women's bodies. Lynn Nottage didn't just go in there, she heard all the stories of the women and all the brutality that they experienced, but this play also dives into the fact that it wasn't an act of defiance waged over the women's bodies, but over the ruined body of the Congo herself. So it described the girls and the women's terror, but also it said how it destroyed the land.